Pace truck down to the infield for the first time in 2026. It is time to sit back, relax, and enjoy 30 trips around the Kokomo Speedway because race fans, this is what you saved your lunch money for. To the green on night number 1 of the Kokomo Grand Prix. Well, you got one lead, you got a bunch chasing here as they work into turns 3 and 4. Here comes the slide for the 54. Boxel going to try to be the king on lap number 1. Does he have it at the line? They're side by side. Wigal in a dead tie. It is the 18 of Zach Wigal being scored first on the opening lap. 0-0-0 across the board. Boxel changing tactics, tries the high side, the Metalloid number 54. Bobbles just a little bit. That time, Wigal has about a 3/10 of a second advantage. Justin Grant, in the meantime, trying to take away second. Couldn't get there fast enough. He rides in third. Here comes Klein and KTJ now. Kevin Thomas Jr. in the 14, working around the bottom of the 55, working the outside. That'll be the fight for the 4th spot. And the turns 1 and 2, 14 low, 55 high. Advantage will be to KTJ as they work on to the far side of the Speedway. Fresh off a runner-up finish in the sprint car here. Looking at third, couldn't get there fast enough. Justin Grant looking for second, likewise not able to pedal hard enough as they are trying to close in on Zach Wigal. Trying to take the Odell truck number 18 back to victory lane here in USAC National Midget Competition. Four Kings Racing with something to say about it. The 54 stalking, closing down within a car length as they work through turns 1 and 2. Loses a little bit on the back straightaway. Diamonds are down through turns 3 and 4. Wigal up wide, the 54 down low. Challenge for the lead, a half a car, .062 at the line. It's going to be Wigal protecting the inside line of the entrance to turn number 1. Not deterred. Here comes Boxel. He'll try the inside into turn number 3. Weigel on the defense now. That's going to allow Justin Grant, though, to close in as they duke it out for the top spot. 3 cars at the front of the field looking for the race lead. Justin Grant in the 87. Winner on night number 2 of the Grand Prix last year. Going to diamond her down across turns 3 and 4 to the high side, to the low side. He'll drop it down low and he'll have second. Grant into the runner-up spot. Weigel has got company of Bruin behind him here. Grant again going to roll to the middle this time into turns 3 and 4. Brings it out low with the exit at turn number 4. Looking off lap number 9. It's still Weigel in command. Grant is there. Boxel, KTJ, the Klein, Setzer, Denny Wise, Drake, and Thomas Mesrall right now your top 10. Patiently around the bottom side of the Speedway at both ends. Zach Weigel trying to hold his line and not feel the pressure from Justin Grant. He'll take a peek to the inside. That time at the exit turn number 2. He's going to try to get the line this time into turns 3 and 4. Tries to get Weigel to overdrive the inside. Not going to happen that time. The NOS Energy 87 about to have company once again from Jacob Boxel. Metalloid 4 Kings number 54 was right on his back bumper now, losing ground as Kevin Thomas Jr. right there in the mix. Going to look to the inside for the 3rd position. Can he grab it? Round to the front straightaway we go, and it will be the 54 holding on to the show position right now. Dealing with traffic. Weigel held up for a moment, trying to get around. I believe that is Cleaver right in front of him here as they work through turns 3 and 4. He'll get held to the bottom. Justin Grant going to set sail to the outside. New leader this time down the front straightaway. Justin Grant put the whip tour to the outside. Exiting turn number 4. He'll take over with 13 laps completed. Weigel back to 2nd. Jacob Boxel running in 3rd. Caution. Caution coming out. The 81G of Gray had stalled, and right as the caution lights came on, the car able to refire and continue on. In traffic, Justin Grant capitalizes through turns 3 and 4. Says the heck with the bottom, I'm going to the high side, and sets sail. Takes over. Zach Weigel back to 2nd. Jacob Boxel in 3rd. Kevin Thomas Jr. in 4th. Trevor Klein in 5th. Gunnar Setzer in 6th. Jacob Denny in 7th. Cale Drake in 8th. Ethan Mitchell in 9th. Hayden Wise in 10th. Colton Robinson in 11th, Thomas Mesrall in 12th, Shelby Hinton in 13th, Brecken Reese in 14th, Gavin Miller in 15th. Interesting to see what happens on the restart. Again, single file through the NOS Energy start can. Drake, what do you got?
Well, first off, Brian, I agree with you. This is going to be a very interesting restart. But Zach Weigel, who has led a majority of this race, now runs 2nd. In the last 4 months, he's raced about 9 times, including the Chili Bowl. And Last year was a very cutback schedule for Zach. Teamed up with Pat O'Dell for the majority of the 2026 season with an opportunity to drink USAC National Midget Championship. I think it's simply remarkable that he's racing with a guy like Justin Grant, who does nothing but race pretty much nonstop all year long after only running those 9 races, or rather those few races that we've talked about in the last handful of months. So it'll be interesting to see if he's got anything for JG, but it's going to be tough to pass Grant, especially at a place like Kokomo.
Absolutely. Justin Grant leading. Wigal, Boxall, KTJ, Trevor Klein. Again, your top 5. 13 laps completed. In 30 the distance, just shy of the midpoint. Round of the NOS Energy start can. We're back underway. Wigal getting challenged on the restart for the runner-up spot. Nobody able to make their way by now. Trying to get a 2-for-1 sail. Here comes the 55 working inside. Good drive of the exit at turn number 2. He'll get 1. Able to get by Kevin Thomas Jr. He takes over the 4 spot. KTJ back to 5th. Kevin through the middle groove. Trying to make hay on the back straightaway. But Trevor Klein really finding launch at the exit turn number 2. 2 laps in a row. He's been able to pick him off. He's up into the 3rd spot in the Bellwood Auto Body number 55 machine. Enters low, keeps it tucked down. You see the car just dig in and drive. He's going to close right up on Zach Wigal, but nobody's closing up on Justin Grant right now. Comes around to click off lap number 16. His advantage 1.191 seconds. Wigal a little bit of a better drive that time. The exit to number 2. Klein still running in 3rd. Kevin Thomas here in the meantime up into the 4th spot. They get Jacob Boxall shuffle back to the 5th position. Now he'll fall to 6th. Jacob Denny in the 67. From 19th has made his way up to the 5th spot. Denny, winner last year on night number 1 of the Kokomo Grand Prix, trying to come from deep and see if he can back up that victory here. He's still got a ways to go with 18 laps completed of 30. He's into the top 5 and he's challenging for 4th onto the back straightaway. Trevor Klein, you got company, and it's not the kind you've got invited to dinner. Not able to get the run that time as Justin Grant, nearly 2 seconds to the good right now, is just shy of a straightaway between him and Zach Wigal. Kevin Thomas running in 3rd, shifting his line around that time. He's going to diamond her down through turns 3 and 4. He's going to close right up on Wigal this time in turns 1 and 2. The low line, the preferred line at that end of the racetrack right now. 3 and 4 is where we see them moving around. They run top, middle, and bottom as the 67 clears on the back straightaway. He will move up into the 4th spot. Jacob Denny takes over the 4th position. The JBL Audio KKM Carmack and JD number 67. He'll set sights on the Purple Heart Foundation number 14. And Kevin Thomas Jr. is their leader in the meantime, is starting to deal with traffic. 8 laps remaining, about to be 7 to go. Grant by the 55, now going to work at the 70th. Taylor. Pass for 3rd. Here he comes. Jacob Denny. Short slides Kevin Thomas at the exit of turn number 4. Time running out though, as Wigal gets by the 55, who's a lap down, trails your leader 2.494 seconds. Danny from 19th to 3rd, Kevin Thomas Jr. 4th, Trevor Klein in 5th, Boxall, Setzer, Ethan Mitchell, Cale Drake, and Colton Robinson in the 67K right now running out your top 10. 5 laps to go. Justin Grant coming around to make it 4 to go. 2.667 now between himself and the 18. Wigal better be on the lookout because Jacob Denny starting to reel him in quickly here in the closing laps. He'll come around next time to 2 to go. Grant with a pair of lap cars ahead of him, 1 behind him here as they work into turns 3 and 4. White flag coming next time by. Boy, things just about got hairy there as the 81, the car suddenly dying and losing power at the exit turn number 4, right as your leader was coming up behind him. Able to get by quickly, avoids contact. Lap coat's going to fly this time for Justin Grant, 87. 2-time winner on the season with the USAC Amsoil Sprint Car National Championship. He's going to add the 2nd series to the book here tonight, the first time in 2026. He's going to victory lane in midget action. Justin Grant, your winner on night number 1 of the Kokomo Grand Prix. Zach Wigal in 2nd, Jacob Denny in 3rd, Kevin Thomas Jr. in 4th, Jacob Boxall in 5th, Trevor Klein in 6th, Gunnar Setzer in 7th, Cale Drake, Shelby Hinton, and Ethan Mitchell unofficially rounding out your top 10. Night number 1 of the 2026 season in the books. And he will start things off with a bang. Zach Wigal crossing second tonight. Jacob Denny, what a run from 19th to 3rd. Kevin Thomas Jr. in 4th. Jacob Boxell in 5th. Trevor Klein in 6th. Gunnar Setzer in 7th. Kel Drake in 8th. Shelby Hinton in 9th. And Ethan Mitchell unofficially rounding out your top 10 here this evening. As he will roll down to the BC Parked at Victory Lane. When it comes to wins, nobody's got it more figured out than Justin Grant. Whether it's sprint cars or midgets, he's going to start to make his way up top for the first time this season. And for the 21st time in his career, he's a winner with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. Give him a hand, Justin Grant. '21st win with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship, his 97th overall USAC national score. And if we're counting wins unofficially here at Kokomo, that's 18 in his career. He was 5th on night number 1 last year. He's a winner here tonight. He's going to come around. The hugs, the handshakes, and Christy Leary standing by.
Comes out the gate swinging on night number 1 of the 2026 USAC NOS Energy Drink National Midget season for Justin Grant on his quest to a championship with the Midget Series. And Justin, when we are lucky enough to get this Kokomo Grand Prix in, when the weather cooperates and everything goes well, is there just something so validating for you knowing that the season starts here at Kokomo?
Yeah, you know, I love Kokomo Speedway, and I love winning here even more. And no, it's awesome to get the first one and get the first one of the season out of the way. You know, we were good here last year with Chad and this NOS Energy Drink 87, and felt really good again tonight, and really excited for the rest of the year. You know, not only here but the whole midget schedule.
And what a good battle between you and Jacob Boxell on your way up to the front of the field. We all know that getting midgets into smaller spaces is a little bit easier than some of the other divisions of racing here with the USAC National Series. How good does it feel to be back in a division where you can race hard like that and still get by on your way?
Yeah, the midgets are fun. They're you know, they're dicey, and they take a little bit different discipline, right? Like it's you can squeeze them into smaller holes and make things happen, but then they're harder to finish on the other end because then the motor bogs and guy drive back by you. So they're easier to get yourself in and get by the guy, but they're harder to keep you behind, or harder to keep him behind you. So you got to kind of play things a little different than you do in a sprint car, and even the way you drive the racetrack is, you know, you wouldn't, you know, it's pretty much the same to be a mid-pack car in both. You drive them both the same, but to find those last few percent, it's quite a bit different than, you know, sprint car to midget, especially to a place you're familiar with. And I've got so much sprint car habit here that I find myself having to kind of like be conscious of that and be conscious of breaking those habits when I get in the midget. But fortunately, Chad and Cam and everybody on this NOS Energy Drink number 87 is giving me a great race car and a ton of fun to work with, and I can't thank them enough. Thanks to NOS Energy Drink, Pristine Auction, all the partners that make this possible, make possible for me to be here. My wife's out there selling t-shirts, and it's a big effort all the way around. And, you know, Chad's got a family at home, and it's a lot. Everybody's out here, you know, working hard, and to give me the opportunity to come up here and race in front of all you people. I really appreciate it.
97 career USAC national victories for Justin Grant. We might be looking at a side quest in 2026 for 100 USAC national wins. That's Justin Grant. He's your winner of night number 1 of the Kokomo Grand Prix. We'll get it to Drake.
Zach Wigal led 12 laps in the season opener for the NOS Energy Drink USAC National Midget Championship. Unfortunately, just comes up 1 spot short. Justin kind of snookered you there in traffic, but the thing that I brought up in the middle of this race, that you haven't raced a whole lot over really the last year. This is your first USAC National start since the Four Crown Nationals back in September. So I imagine it's got to be a bit of a bittersweet feeling knowing you were so close to your second career win, but also being so good against these guys that race pretty much every single week for a living.
Yeah, man, I think it's just it's a test to show how good Pat and Debbie are at this team. First night out, my first race since Chili Bowl, really second race since Four Crowns. So, I mean, these guys race damn near every day for a living. I got to go to school on Monday and fly airplanes. But very disappointing second, but I'm just very thankful that Pat and Debbie put me in this situation where I can be disappointed in a second. So thankful to be here.
Zach Wigal with a strong runner-up here to open the 2026 season. Once again, we'll see him in the